So in our last session, we looked at LIFO, and now we're going to look at average cost. And average cost can be very helpful for companies that are selling or making products that are very, very, very similar or unique, not unique, but identical. For example, there was a company in South Windsor that used to make screws and nails and washers and bolts and other things like that that would be extremely costly to try to use a method other than average cost. So what we do in average cost is we take the cost of goods available for sale and divide it by the units available. So what we're looking for is one cost. Once we get that, the rest of it is pretty easy. So what we need to do is to look at what is our cost of goods available for sale and how many units are available. So we can type in equals here, and we could go all the way up to the top of our spreadsheet, and we had determined that our cost of goods available for sale was $20.94.50. We simply have to divide that by the 123 units available. So we can press the backslash, that's division on Excel, and click on the 123. And that will give us an average cost per unit. This is also called the weighted average method, because you can see it weights it based on the number of units there are for each lot or purchase. And then if we press enter, we get an average cost per unit of $17.30. So once we get that, to get the cost of goods sold, we simply have to multiply the number of units sold by our average cost per unit. So our number of units sold was 103. So all we need to do is take the 103 units times the average cost per unit of $17.03. And that gives us a cost of goods sold of $1753.93. And then to get the ending inventory, we take the number of units remaining in ending inventory and multiply it by the average cost per unit. So we take the 20 units remaining in ending inventory times the 1703. And that will give us our ending inventory. Okay. Again, we should verify that this equals the cost of goods available for sale, as we've been doing, and it does. So now we can do the income statement. We know the sales are going to be the same as we've used before, the 3,090. Our cost of goods sold, we just calculated as 1753.93. So that gives us a gross profit, sales minus cost of goods sold, of 1336.07, and will give us a net income of, which remember, net income is gross profit minus operating expenses, of 536.07. So that should be in the middle of the other two. And when we did LIFO, remember, we should have the lowest net income because we have the lowest gross profit. And again, the reason for that is because we're selling the newer, more expensive goods first when prices are rising. But FIFO should be higher because we're selling the older, less expensive goods first when prices are rising. So FIFO has the highest cost, FIFO has the lowest cost of goods sold and the highest gross profit and net income when prices are rising, while LIFO has the opposite, the highest cost of goods sold, the lowest gross profit, and the lowest net income, where average cost falls in the middle. So our percentage should also fall in the middle, our gross profit percentage, So we're going to take our gross profit and divide it by sales, and we're going to get 43%. Under LIFO, we had 41%. And under FIFO, we had 45%. So you can see that it matters what inventory costing method we use. Now, companies are required to disclose which methods they're using. And if they change, they also have to make sure that there's a note to the financial statements indicating that they've done that. Because you can see the change that could happen in net income. Now, we're dealing with very small numbers, but if you're dealing with large numbers, it could be a significant change in net income. So again, I thank you for your attention.